Welcome to Papyrus Plans. I'm Tasha. Ready to create something beautiful? Let's dive in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So let's work on my creative journal for the month of May. And I made a little note to myself that since this is the first time I have the front and back of a page, that I should try to do maybe a cutout design. So I think that I will. But originally my idea was to do a cutout design on the cover page for May. That kind of like a little window, since I have, again, like I have the front and back, so it would peek through to this side. But then I changed my mind. As we are apt to do, right, as creatives. So then I created this as the cover page because I thought it was really pretty. And I decided to go with a garden flower theme because May is when we start to see those beautiful flowers. So why not? So I did that. But then I thought, well, what if I created like some miniature versions of the cover page? And so I did. So I have, like different scenes. And then I thought, well, what if, okay, this is a cover page and then each page has, a scene in the middle. And then maybe I cut out this part and it peeks through to the next page. Or I thought, well, maybe what if I did just maybe an arch on each page, or maybe cut it down, to size and just put them in different places. But then I thought, well, then, obviously I can't put this through my cutting machine. Because it's just too big. So it's just not going to fit. And the thickness is just too much. So then I thought, well, instead of having to do that, because I was trying to figure out, well, I could do it, I guess, manually. But then I thought that's going to be a bit cumbersome. I have these arched concentric dies. And I put them in here because I ran out of magnetic sheets, but I just wanted to keep them all together. So originally I thought, well, maybe I'll, use one of these. Like I thought originally I was going to do something like this, and cut it out. And I thought, well, I could trace it. And since I can't, use this on my cutting machine and just very carefully, use my craft knife or even my gyro cut and cut around this and then make it like a window onto this page and then have my cover page peeking through. But then I had the idea of, well, what if instead of doing that, I took maybe some of these scenes and I matched it up with, again, some of the right sizes and until I found like the perfect size. What if I cut this? Because this is just one sheet. So I could run this through my cutting machine, cut this and put the arch down and have, the arch on the page and then have it peeking through on the next page. So I thought about that. So I'm a little bit torn. In fact, I don't know if I have one. I think this is the largest one. So pull some different sizes here. This was my original idea, to try to find an arch size that matched this. That's pretty close. You know what I mean? Like this could be on the cover page and this is on the page underneath it. I guess I'm torn because I think it would be kind of cool to have different pages with the arch on it. But then actually the more I think about it, that probably isn't going to leave me enough writing space. So maybe I should go back to my original idea because I had switched because I was going to do this. So maybe I'll do it on the first page and the last page or the next to last page. Let's see. So it'd have to be this page. Like put an arch in the middle and then have it this way. That way maybe I can use both ideas. So maybe I'll do that. So let me find my favorite arch. Let's see. Here's the cover page with the house, which I really love. Kind of like this one with the stairs coming down. Or maybe this one with a door. That's kind of cool. So maybe we'll do this one on the next to last page. So maybe I'll tuck this one in so I don't forget. So that should be this one. Okay. Let's see. And this size, I think, is this the right one? Let me get the next smallest one, see. Okay, this one excludes this part. This one I think fits the top a little bit better, but it gets part of this. But I think that's fine. If I bring it up like that. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with this size because I feel like this one is just a little bit, I mean, they're close, but, huh. Actually, that's kind of cool too. Well, okay, no, maybe I'll use a smaller one. Okay, so I think we're gonna use a combination of both of my ideas. Sometimes you just don't realize the best path until you just kind of talk it through. And I had switched to the idea of, like I said, of using the scenes, but then now the more I think about it out loud, if I did that, it's going to look cool, but I'm probably not going to have enough room to write. Because my goal is to only use this one journal for the entire year, which means I did the math. I have to get 3 days of journaling on each page on average. So if I did that, I mean, that's taking up, I can definitely get 2 days out of here, but I don't think I can get 3. I mean, that means I would barely be able to write anything every day. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. So let's go back to this idea. So, was that the first one I choose? I got these mixed up. No, I think that's the very first one. I think this is the new one. Yeah, okay. Let me put this one up so I don't get it mixed up. And I usually keep these on magnetic sheets. I have a whole stack of these, but again, like I said, I ran out. So usually I have a magnetic sheet and then I put it in the envelope so that it stays. But I had some extra envelopes, so I just put it in here again, just to kind of keep everything together. So that's where that's going to be stored until I can buy some more. So I think what I'll do is get some low-tack tape, tape this down, and I think I'm going to run it through my cutting machine, and then I'll do the same thing with this. Let's see. Find the right one for this one. That's too big. That was for this one. Yeah. I think. Oh yeah, that's a perfect one for this one. So I'm gonna put this one up again so I don't get it confused. Just some of these are so close in size. So let me get the low-tack tape and then I'll run it through my cutting machine. I'm gonna try to see if I can get my cutting machine in frame. I think I can, just so you can see the process. I have a Cricut Cuttlebug. It's been discontinued, but mine is still working beautifully. So I haven't bought a new machine, and I've been able to find similar plates on Amazon that someone in a forum told me about. So if you have a Cuttlebug and you can't find Cricut plates, you can go on Amazon and just get the size of the plates that you match it to the size of the Cuttlebug plates, and it'll work perfectly. All right, so I'm back. I brought my stack of plates, and then I have some low-tack tape. I believe this is from scrapbook.com. So let's figure out our sandwich that we want to make. Let's see. Definitely use these 3. And, oh, okay. I think I accidentally grabbed some of my Anna Griffin plates. This is for my other machine. Let me put these back. I won't need these. I might need this. We'll see. Okay. Those other plates were for my Anna Griffin Empress. I have the Empress and the Empress Mini. So I don't need those. So I just wanted to bring over my Cuttlebug plates. Okay, so this is the base. This is A. Let's see. Let's maybe do the big one first. Let's put that where we want it. And let me see if one strip of tape will do it, or if I need 2. But let's do 1 here. Actually, that's pretty secure, so I don't think I need 2. Okay, and then let's go ahead and tape down this one. Again, same kind of thing. Let's see, we want to do the door. So get it where I want it, right underneath the arch. And this is very low-tack tape, so it's not going to ruin the sticker. Okay, so set that one aside. Now, let's sandwich this in between the B plates. And I'm going to test it and see if I need my metal shim. I may not. So let me grab my Cuttlebug, and it's right by the camera, so apologies if it shakes. Okay. So let's open this up. Let's do a quick test. Actually, I don't think I'm going to need my metal shim. Okay. So hopefully that's in frame. Oh, yeah. Actually, I will. I don't have resistance. And I might need my other plate, but we'll see. because this is pretty thin. Usually I'm cutting cardstock, so I don't necessarily have to have all the items in the stack, but I think I need a little bit more resistance. Yeah, okay, that's tighter. Okay, now let's try this. Make sure this didn't move. Right about there, okay. Nope, that didn't do anything. Okay, let me get my other plate. Actually, I think I'm gonna use my rubber mat. Just stack it all up. Take the metal shim out, use the rubber mat. Let's see how that works. You can tell when it goes through, you can feel the kind of resistance. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be perfect. There we go. Okay, now I can feel the resistance. You hear the sound? And I run it through, and then I back it up. Okay. And as you can see, that worked beautifully. So let's set that aside. So I found the right sandwich combo. So now let's see, where's the other one? It's underneath here. Here we go. Let's get this one, place it on top, and make sure it's where I want it, and it is. Put the B plate back on top. So I'm doing B plate, my piece of paper I want to cut, B plate, my rubber mat, and then the A base plate, okay? So for those that are following along, actually let's do it this way. And again, running it through, and you can kind of hear it crack or crackle, and then I'm running it back the opposite direction. I just find that that works better, at least for me. Okay, and there you can see it cut perfectly. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside, put everything back into place where it was, and then I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so we're back. So let's go ahead and remove this low tack tape. And it's low tack, but you still want to go slowly because it has enough tack to hold it, so you don't want to go too fast and risk ripping it. Again, it's significantly lower than regular tape, but it is still tape. So I like to take my time. Okay, set that aside. And usually I can use this 2 or 3 more times, even though it's low tack. All right, now, what do we want to do? So I think what I might do is just simple waterfall tabs. Since I have this cutout design, I don't want to take away from the design by doing anything else too fancy. So for once, I might be really simple with my pages. So let's see. Actually, this is perfect if I think I do 1, 2, 3. 3 dots in on each page. So increments of 3. I think that might work. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this almost down, and then let's see. After I put this in, then I'll trace this and then cut this page out and then put the sticker in the middle. So that's my idea. I think that's what I'm gonna do to have this underneath. Yeah, okay. So let me get my cutting mat just so I can see the edges. Take this off. It's just as that is my cover page. Just so I know that I had front and back. And this is the first time since I started my journal that I did have front and back. That was kind of cool. Okay, so this is going to be pretty perfect in terms of length. I'm going to peel off the bottom and get it in place, and then slowly peel off the rest. Because of the cutout, it doesn't have very much stability here. So to control it, I'm only doing a little bit at a time. Let's see, let's bring it down about right there. And as always, I'm coming close to the spine, but not touching the spine, okay? So I'm gonna go, again, very slowly. Let me get my craft scraper so that as I do this, it will stay hopefully aligned. And again, because they're of the hole, I'm going slow. Okay, now I'm going to push it into the spine. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, now let's just trim off this excess. So let's see. Turn it this way. A little hard to see because the paper's white and the back of the sticker is white. I'm going to do my best to kind of follow along the edge here. Kind of using the edge of the scissors to find the edge of the journal page. Okay, so we have that down. That was the easy part. Now let's trim this out. And I think I'm going to use my gyro cut. I'm going to do my best, hopefully, to stay as close to this as possible without going over. I'm going a lot slower than I normally do because, again, I'm doing my best to follow this curve while being precise. And there might be a few areas I need to clean up because I'm human. And that we're going to get as close as we can. Hopefully it works the way that I want it to. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing, only peel a small amount off so I can, maybe I should, let's see. Trying to think, should I pin this down? Do that just so it stays in place. Maybe I should put it over here. Yeah, okay. Whew, I'm nervous. Again, I'm trying to join them, but not join them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be exact, but close to it. Got a small gap there, but I think that's fine. Let's see how I did. Oh, okay, yeah, that worked pretty well. Okay, now we have a little peekaboo moment. Oh, I love that. That looks really good. Now I wish I kind of had something over here. Let me look in my frames that I found. See if I have anything. This is originally what I was going to use for this, because I found these when I was cleaning up my craft room, and I've never used these. So I wonder if there's any arches in here. I don't know if I have anything that big, or even frame. Maybe I can cover it with. Let's see. So far, I think this is the only thing big enough. We have all these really cool frames. Originally, I was going to put a frame on each page. I might save that idea for another journaling spread. Yeah, I don't think these are big enough. This one might be if I punch the center out. Let's see. But then I have to trim off the other side. You know what I mean? So that just the frame is shown. Cut that out. But then I have this here, so do I really want to do that? Yeah, I don't think I do. Okay, I got to come up with another solution for this. And I have no clue where I got these because it's in this really cool vellum envelope. And it doesn't have, I must have removed it from the brand packaging. So I don't know. It just says vintage frames. So I don't know where I got this from. I mean, if I can find it, I'll try to link something similar. Oh, I love that. Okay. What are we going to do here, though? I need something there. Oh, what if I do, because instead of creating my own stickers this week, because I'm trying to keep things simple, I decided to pull these really beautiful stickers that I got from Recollections. This is Michael's. I did a whole Michael's haul for this, so I'll try to remember to link that haul there so you can see all the beautiful stickers. So I'm torn between using this one and this one. I think I'm leaning toward this one because I feel like this is more of a watercolor effect. This has more, these are a little bit more realistic and it has gilding. And I'm not sure if I want to bring in gold. Usually I'm all about the foil, but I don't know if I want to bring that into this particular spread. So I may not. So I'll put that to the side because I'm not sure if I want to use that. This one, again, like I said, it has more kind of watercolor flowers. Just think they're really beautiful. And I think that might work. So what if I use some of the flowers around the edge? I mean, I think it would take a lot of them, but I think it will look cool. You know what I mean? Like if I tried to put flowers around this part, I think that's the only thing I can think of that might work. And what else could I do? Oh, wait. I have some wood washi. What if I made a frame with the wood washi? The only hard part is going to be this curve. I might try that. That way then I can use other stuff to... Because I'm worried I'm going to waste too many well, I shouldn't say waste, but I'm worried I'm going to use too many flowers to do that. So let me get my wood washi and see if I can make that work. All right, so I have dark, medium, and light. So I have this kind of like farmhouse whitewash wood, kind of a medium tone, and this super dark one. Let's see. I think this might be too dark. This medium tone could work. Or actually, I might use this because it kind of goes with more with the house more. It's lighter. I mean, if I hate it, I can always teal it up because it's washy. Let's try it and see. Let me cut a clean line here. Okay. So what if I lined it up down here? And that way it creates a window effect without having to have an actual window frame. Oops. Get this edge. Do my best to stay within the margins here. Okay. And then, let's see. Use my ruler to kind of follow this line here as best I can. Go do it like that. Okay. Then turn it and do the same thing this way. Again, I'm doing my best not to go over that edge. Now I got to figure out what I want to do for the curve. How am I going to do the curve? I wonder if I layered it on top, would that look weird? Or should I just cut it here? Maybe make a straight line. I'm using the grid as my guide. I think this is going to be a tricky part. Oh, how am I going to do this? I might have to do small cuts all over and keep joining it. That's the only thing I can think of. Let's see what that looks like so that I can keep matching the angle. You know what I mean? In order to get the right curve, I think that's the only way I can do it. And then I can try to remove the excess washi maybe after the fact. That way I can keep rotating it. Or, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how can I do this. Because I don't like the way that's stacked up. I don't like that. Or I could just do the bottom, the sides, and maybe put flowers at the top. I might do that. That's a possibility. Let's try that. Okay. And get my ruler so I can cut it at the same length as this, thereabouts. It's right there. Okay. All right, so we have everything but the curve. And I think that's going to be the best cause of action, because the only other thing I can think of is maybe doing something like that, but then it wouldn't be a true curve. If this was wider, I could just put it down and then cut around it, but I don't have the width that I need. You know what I mean? So I could just do like a box. Oh, what if I did that? Well, let me try that and see. I just had the idea. Because I'm like, what's the easiest way to do a curve is to turn it into something that's not a curve. Okay, so what if I went all the way up, go back here. Try to join these two. And then fill in the space like I'm trying to fill a rectangle. Yeah. And then cut around it. I think that might work. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about filling it vertically versus horizontally. So me move all this, and then I can just trim the hole. Okay, now I'll show you what I mean. And I might have to add some glue here to kind of reinforce these edges. But I'm going to trim this off and then see if my gyro cut will trim this. It's really thin, so I don't know if it will, but I'll try. Okay, so now I have a clean edge there. Get all these little pieces of washi and throw these away. Now let's trim this edge to be consistent with this. I just did it this way so that everything will be lined up as best as it can be. See? All right, that creates a clean edge there. All right, now let's work on this part. And I think I'm gonna do it from the opposite side. Let's get my gyro cut back out. This is really thin, so I don't know if it's gonna be able to do this, but since it's a curve, I think this is gonna be the easiest tool. It's gonna kind of flatten everything, push everything down, hopefully make it easier. It's not bad. See if I can get my scissors and just kind of clean up this one edge. And I'm gonna take some of my Elmer's purple glue, which I love, and just add a little bit to the seams. And just use my finger to rub it over into the raw edge, just to keep it in place. And this dries clear, so I love using this glue. I think I'll do the top too. Again, just to kind of coax it into the fibers of the page. Okay, it's already starting to dry, so I'm gonna give that maybe 60 seconds to dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, that's pretty much dry now. Now I'm just gonna take my rubberized adhesive remover, kind of remove some of the stick, any of the excess glue, just so that it's not tacky to the touch. Okay. Now I think what I might do is use my outliner. This is brown, and kind of carefully go around the edges. This is darker, so, well, maybe I should use a tan. See, I don't think I have a tan outliner. Let's see. Maybe I'll use an alcohol marker. Let's see. Let me test this one. Okay, that's really light. I just was thinking, I don't want it to be too dark because this side is a lot lighter than this side. Let me use the broad side. And I'm just going to run it along the raw edge, just to kind of take away some of the white. I don't know if this is dark enough, but... just so it kind of blends in a little bit more seamlessly. And it's not quite as stark. Okay. Yeah, that helped. All right, so let's take a look. Ooh, I really like the way that came out. I think that came out really beautifully. And now this is framed. You know, it has kind of like it's like a window pane effect without creating a window, but it's essentially an arch window. And when you lift it, and then this side has at least something here so it doesn't feel plain. Now we can put some decorations there. Okay, so maybe let's do the last page too like this, so that that'll be done. And then we can start adding the waterfall tabs. So let's see. Okay, this is the last page, so then it has to be the previous page. Okay, so that the sticker goes here. And that's the 31st of May on that side. Okay, so same thing here. Let me gently remove this tape. It's low-tack tape, but it is still tape, so you do need to be careful. Okay. Let's put it to the side. So we have, let's see, this will go here. So same thing here. Let's see, should I change where I put it? Or maybe try and decide if I want it in the middle. Let me cut it off of this so I can play around with where I place it. Okay. So I'll probably only get 2 days off of this page. I might have to add a page. Let's see. Because I don't plan to do anything here. So I'm probably only getting 2 days out of this page. Because I can write around this. Okay, let me do some math and see if I have enough dates. All right, so I just did some math, and because of how large this is, I did have to add a page. I think I have like 4 extra pages in the back, so I should be okay. So instead of putting it here, I'm going to put it here, And then I added this page here, and I just move that so I know that, hey, don't do anything here, because this page is where this is going to go. Okay, so that's going to be the last page. So maybe I'll do kind of similar here in the middle. Let me see. You get a pencil. Okay, so I need to be between those two lines, essentially. And do the same thing as before. Because this is smaller, I've got to be really careful not to tear this one. Right there. Again, I'm just counting dots to make sure I'm in the middle, more or less. It doesn't have to be exact, but close to it. And making sure that bottom line is smooth, so that when I use my scraper, hopefully I can keep everything aligned. And just, once again, slowly peeling it and smoothing it with my scraper. Okay. And erase my pencil marks. Well, I'm going to be doing waterfall tabs, so it may not matter. Okay. Okay, so same as before, I'm going to, let's see, put this underneath. And then use my gyro cut to cut this out in the middle. So I'll do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I'm back. So I just finished making this frame. So same steps as before. I put the sticker down, cut this out with my gyro cut, placed the inner sticker down. And then this time, the only difference is I added, since I had a frame that I showed you guys from before that would actually fit, I just put this down and then cut the inside of the frame to match the opening here. So again, it's not perfect, but this definitely was a lot easier than the washi tape. But I think both effects look really cool. So that's with the washi tape, and this is with the frame. So if you have a frame that is large enough to fit over this, then that will definitely make it easier. And this was a sticker, so I did that. Okay, now let's figure out the tabs that we want to do. So again, I think I'm gonna go in increments of 3. So nothing here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Go this way. All right, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And I might just, I think instead of doing this one, I'm gonna trim this down just so that it has that. So let me do that while I'm thinking about it. So all of these will be waterfall tabs except for the cover page. Okay. All right, so we have the cover page trimmed. Well, actually, I guess this one can't be either in order for... Oh, how can I do this? Well, what if I did reverse waterfall tabs? So that was exactly 3 spaces. So I could come in 6 spaces. Instead of going longer to shorter, it goes shorter to longer. So less dots to more dots. I might try that. So the last page, well, I can't do that. Well, the last page would be the shortest page with the exception of this. So last page, shortest page, but I have to ignore this one because of this. Okay, let's try it and see. So this would be, that's 3, this would be 6. So let me get my longer metal ruler. I mean, if we hate it, we've only done it 1 month and we know never to do it again. I mean, I don't mind taking risks in my journal. This is just my journal, my own creative journal. So I'm the only one that's looking at it. Okay, so this is going to be 6 dots in. Okay, so it's not going to be centered anymore, but that's there. So I think that's fine. And again, I think I'm only going to get maybe 2 days of journaling if I'm lucky. I might put 1 day over here, like something small, and put a day here, 1 day here, and then I have the back. I might do that. That way I have plenty of room to write. Although I could write around this. So yeah, I might be able to get 2 days. We'll see. Okay, so that's 6. So this one's going to be 9. Okay, so that's the last one. And then this one, again, I do nothing because otherwise he's going to cut into the window. So I guess I could cut to this edge so that I can put something here. Maybe I'll do that. Make this just a clean, oops, wrong. That there, this here. Make this a clean edge. Maybe I'll cut directly on the dot again to make it even. Okay, so that goes there. So again, it goes like this. So it's kind of, again, reverse waterfall tabs because it's going this direction. And then it stops here because this is the last page. Okay. All right, so I think I'm going ahead and date everything just to make sure I have enough space. I like to date first before I design, again, just to make sure I have all the dates covered. And then once I know that this has to be the 31st of May there, once I know I have enough space, then I know where I can kind of decorate. So I will put the dates and then I'll be right back because that's going to take a little while. But if I, choose like a specific design or something, maybe I'll show you what I choose first. So this is the Paper Studio Agenda 52, numbers and days, what I usually use for my journal. I bought this specifically for that. So let's see. It's lots of greens and then floral colors, purples, pinks, oranges. So I might go more playful this time around. Let's figure out what kind of days of the week I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use color. Like something like this. So usually I rotate the colors individually, but I think I might just use one grouping, just to make it easier because rotating all the colors is very time consuming. So I think I might use this one because all of these fit. And let's see what kind of numbers we're going to use. So we'll post a note there. And let's see. And then maybe I'll choose the one that has the variegated colors. So I think I'm going to go with this color for these because this kind of goes with everything. Okay, so again, let me use one of my cover page sticky notes. Just put it there just so I know that. So, all right, so these are the colors I'm going to use for the days a week. And these ones right here are the ones I'm going to use for the actual numbers. So I'll date it and then I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. All right, you guys, so I just finished dating everything. So let me show you what it looks like. So again, this is the cover page. And I did 1 day here, 1 day here. I mean, I could have done one here, but I felt like it was going to be a little awkward to write there. So I decided maybe to try to just put some decoration there instead. And that way this gives me still plenty of room to write. And then again, I try to average 3 days per page. And again, you can see the reverse kind of waterfall effect. And then again, same thing with this awkward space here. I decided just to use 2 days here, 2 days here. And here, because I have the full page, I decided to get 4 days out of this because I didn't want to just have 1 day on the back. So I decided to just split this up into 4 instead of 3 days, which I occasionally do. And I still think I have plenty of room to write. Again, I'm not trying to write a novel each day, just, you know, like a short paragraph of either what happened, something that I'm feeling or going through, etc. Okay, so now let's figure out what we want to do in terms of decoration. Let's start with some washi first. And maybe go in reverse. And again, I'm gonna have to move some of the dates over, but I still like to date first because I'd rather move, you know, like 4 or 5 dates versus having to do everything later. I just feel like it's easier having everything here so I know how many days I need to get per page versus decorating everything and realizing I need to add a page or something like that. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Since I did this in reverse, it's kind of hard. Like this one has to be a skinny one. So this is one. Yeah, this is the one where it kind of starts. So I could put something here if I wanted, but I don't have to. Okay, so maybe this, and then I'll have to move these over. Again, I wasn't really thinking about this when I did this. Actually, I think I'm going to have to move all of these over. All right, let's figure out what we want. So the widest washi is going to go on the last page. Doesn't have to, but kind of what my original thought was. So I have this kind of wildflower one with some butterflies. That kind of matches that. Let's see. So that could be the last page. And then this one, I'm not sure what to do for this one. Or maybe I could do this one at the top and the bottom and just do it like a partial washi. That could work. So maybe that one there. Then I have this wider, more vibrant washi. So maybe I'll do this one on the last page. And maybe go back to some color. This is kind of a skinny one, kind of like pink daisies for that one. That way it's not taking up much space. And then I have some blues. Or maybe I should do a blue first. Let's do a blue. I could do this one, has pinks and blues. And then maybe do this pink one here. And then, see, I have this more neutral one. It's a skinny one. And then I have another blue one. Maybe I'll use the blue one here and then a more neutral one here because that goes with this. I think that it kind of framed that nicely. And oh, I forgot I have this really wide one too, which I don't know if I'm gonna use. It's kind of like just greenery with some flowers interspersed throughout. I mean, I could put this on the last one and just cut it down. Could do that. Okay, so maybe I'll save this one for the back of this. And then, again, this one for this one. Okay, so this is the second one. Let's try to put them in order so I'll remember. This one is next. Then this one. Then this one. This is next to last. This is last. So I'm going to put them in order here. Again, just so I don't forget the order I want to use them in. Okay, so those are in order. And then I have, let's see, this really wide one. So maybe just for some small decoration, use this on the side here, and I'm gonna line it up with this line here. And this is from Mia Washi. This is one of their random bundles I got, which I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of the random bundles. feel like you don't necessarily get the prettiest washi when you get the random ones. This is super wide. About there. It's so wide. Then bring it over to the edge so that it's touching that. Let me get my cutting mat so it's not sticking to the other page. Oh, and this is really strong. So Mira washi is great quality washi. I just don't recommend the random. Like, I love the washi you get to choose, but random not so much. Because again, random, I feel like you just get kind of all the washi they're trying to get rid of, which I'm not a fan of. I think I'm going to cut it this way so I can use the page as my guide. And again, this is so sticky. And this is kind of hard to cut. Let's see, let's do it this way. And I won't need any more of it because I have so much on this side. So the part I trim off here, I'm going to put on the other side. So it just kind of fills in that awkward gap there. Then I'm going to put this over here and then use my craft knife to cut it before it gets to the spine. And put this down here so I can save it. Might use that somewhere else. All right, I'm just going to use my craft scraper to kind of push it again into the spine, but fold into the spine. There we go. So now that's kind of a fuller look, and I just have the day down here. So that looks really good. I like that. Okay, so now let's see. In order, this is the next one. I think this will just fit on the edge here. It's not feeling very tacky. I might put some glue down here. Let's see. We get a sticker backer sheet. And run a little bit of Elmer's just down the edge here, just to make sure it stays. I think this is older washi. Usually, compared to the other washi, like this is super sticky. This is, I mean, it has stick to it, but it's not very strong. So you can still use it. You just need to give it a little help. Slide this to the edge here. And this fits perfectly. That's why I use this one here, because it's really skinny. Okay. Trim this little excess off. And I usually like to put washi on the front and the back. I don't always do it, but in general, I like the look of it. So I think I'm going to move these dates and then put this on the back, and then I'll be right back and show you what it looks like. All right, so that's the front, and this is the back. So I just moved the dates over, and that was pretty easy. So let's move on to the next one. This is the next one in the lineup. So I'm going to cut a clean edge. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, and same thing on this side. I'm going to move the dates over, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like. And actually, what I might do is just do all the washis and then show you, now that you've seen. I mean, it's basically be the same process. I'm going to put it down on the front, move the dates over, put it down here. So I'll do all of those and then show you the end result. All right, everyone, welcome back. So I just finished putting in all the washi. So I'm going to show you what it looks like from the front. So that's the cover page. And I initially stopped the washi here, but when I turned the page, I could see this white space here and it looked odd to me. So I went ahead and used the extra washi that I saved, thankfully, and just added strips down here just so that it has more of a continuous look. And then I also decided to add on the back page a double strip because again, this is a reverse waterfall. So as I flip it, again, it's continuous. So that's what I did. I did a single line on the front, double line on the back. So same thing here. And this is the only exception. And again, because this is the last one, I only needed a single line here. And then it goes back into the cutout. So this one, I just added washi here, again, to kind of give it an effect so that it has something here to blend in with this. But then when I turn it over, I decided not to put anything here on this page because I just didn't think that it needed it. I felt like if I put washi here and washi here, I was going to take away too much of the space here. So I decided just to leave that alone. And instead, I just put a strip of washi, a wide washi on this side. Because as you turn it back this way, you don't really need it. At least I decided that I didn't think that I needed it. So that's what it looks like flipped both ways. Okay. So now let's play around and have some fun. So I have some stickers that I made. And then I also have these stickers from the Recollections collection, and this is the Sketchbook Garden collection. So we'll probably use a combination of the two of these together. Now on this first page, I probably won't put too much here, maybe just a few flowers around there. Again, just because I only have this one block to write in, so I don't want to take up too much of that space. So maybe I'll just use some of these and just put a few flowers around here. Let's see. Like this one would be kind of cute because it has a curve to it. Let's see. Maybe put it some like this. And then I'll cut the inside and maybe find another one to put there. Right here. And this one I can fit like this without cutting it. Let's see, can I fit this one without cutting it? Let's try. Or only cutting it, maybe cut it this way so I don't have to go inside here. I think that'll make it easier. And I might have to move this Poor Thursday again. Again, just so I don't have to do an awkward cut in there. Thankfully, these date stickers are fairly easy to lift up, and yet they have quite a bit of stick to them. So that's good. So I'm just going to get my bone folder, kind of push this down into the fibers of the page. And that way I only have that little small piece to trim. Perfect. And let's see, can I use this somewhere? I just put this right here. That fits perfectly there. And maybe add a few flowers over here. That way it kind of looks like it's framing. Let's see if I can find some more curved pieces. Wish I had 2 sheets of these. These are really pretty. I love these stickers. Let's see, we have some smaller ones here. They can can layer a little bit. Or maybe I should just do like it's coming up this way. On top of the washi. Kind of like that. The colors are so pretty. Trying to use the smaller flowers and foliage. Again, to kind of blend these two washies together. Let's see. Then we'll find some more smaller ones like this. I don't think I'm going to use any gold foil. These are kind of cute. Oh, I think this might work too. I might use this little strip and just cut it. Cut it into little individual pieces. That was kind of coming off of the frame. I think that looks kind of cool. I'm just kind of cutting individual chunks to kind of place around this edge here. Again, without going in here. I don't really want to have to cut anything this way. I think this little strip sticker should be enough for me to get the rest of the way across. Okay, I think that looks really cute. It's kind of like the flowers are on a vine growing up. And I think I might put a little bit of glue because these are so dainty. And I'm just going to put this right on top. Because again, this dries clear. And this kind of acts as a sealant. It's almost like using Mod Podge. Just so that it stays. And I know it looks excessive, but it will dry clear. I've done this before. It's just a nice way to kind of seal everything in. So I'm going to give that like 60 seconds. Well, maybe 2 minutes. I'll give it about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to dry. And then that way it'll kind of seal everything in and I don't have to worry about it popping up. Again, because these are a little bit daintier stickers, just to give it a little extra security. Okay, it's been about 1 minute, so I'm just taking a napkin and removing some of the excess glue. Again, I don't want to go crazy, but just kind of removing some of that. And then I'm going to wait another minute. And then I'll take my adhesive remover and remove any excess tack after it dries. Because again, I'm kind of using this as a sealant to kind of make sure the stickers stay put where I put them. All right, so I'm just going to place this in between this page until it fully dries. Again, just so that it doesn't stick to anything. And then after it cures for a while, then I'll come back to it. And again, make sure that everything's down really well. Okay, so on this next page, so I have this done already. Kind of created a frame with the flowers around the arch, which I think is really pretty. So we have this. This is already really nice. I don't think we need to do too much to this page. Maybe just add a few decorations, maybe at the top. Let's see. Might just add a few flowers scattered this way. And I might just leave, you know what? I might just leave this page plain just in case I need more writing for Thursday. I could write there. So I may not take up any more space. Maybe I'll just add some flowers on the side so it looks like this scene is continued. I might do that. So let's see if I can find maybe some smaller flowers to kind of bring it out this way. Okay, these are kind of pretty. Let's see. Oh, these are nice too. So this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll use this one. Let's see, what would that look like? I put it right there. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Kind of brings in, it's not quite dry yet, so I want to make sure I put that back. It's almost dry. So I kind of like that. Kind of brings in some interest, and maybe just have some leaves kind of flying, blowing away in the wind, you know? That way it has something there, and it gets rid of this awkward space, so I can use this here for writing if I want to without it taking up too much space. Maybe one leaf there. And maybe maybe another flower over there. Let's see. I think this is pretty. Maybe something a little bit smaller. I like this one, but it's a little too big. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, this is a little bit smaller. And see if I can find another small one. Or I might move this leaf. So I can put another flower there. And maybe that right there. And since it's close to the spine, I'm gonna get my bone folder. And again, kind of push it down. So the adhesive on the back of the sticker can kind of join with the journal paper. There we go. Okay, now I still only see this part, but when you open it, you can see like the flowers kind of blowing in the wind. That's kind of cool. I like that. I don't think I need anything else here. This is still slightly tacky, but I think I can start to remove some of the tackiness. This is my rubberized adhesive remover. Okay, that took away a good amount of it. Some of it is still tacky, so I'm gonna leave that there, again, just as a precaution. And then I'll remove more after it's fully dry. Okay, so that page I think is done. And again, I'm kind of keeping this just as a safety zone in case I feel like I need to write more for Thursday. And if I decide that I don't want to write any more for Thursday, I can always come back and add some more stickers. So that's an easy solution there. So that looks really pretty. All right, let's work on this page. Again, we don't need much here. Let's see. Let's maybe add maybe some of these wildflowers. Or maybe I'll save that for this one. Yeah, I'll save that one for this one. So let me put that aside, try to remember to use that. Let's see. Have this here. This is kind of nice. Kind of goes with the theme of arches. And maybe put this in the middle here. And since it's a Sunday, I don't usually write a huge amount on Sundays. Get my craft scraper. If I can find it. Do with it. All right, I can't seem to find my skinnier craft scraper. So I'm just using my other one. This is thicker. It has a rounded edge. And just again, kind of pushing it into the spine just so that it's easier to turn the page and it folds like that. Okay, so that looks really cute. I don't think we need a whole lot here. Maybe something down here small. Maybe on this edge, I think I'll cut this down. And cut off some of the offset. Just so when I layer it on top, it's not as pronounced. Okay, maybe put this one down here. Give some interest over there. And then maybe something, again, small on this side. Oh, the boots would be kind of cute. But I think I might use the boots over here so it stands out a little bit more since this is pink. Let's use a lantern. Again, I'm going to cut some of the offset off. And then I'm going to butt it up right up against this edge. And trim off any that goes over on the bottom. just a small amount. Okay, that's really cute. I like that. Again, gives it some interest without being over the top. And I might even add some flowers here peeking over. Let's see. That's kind of cute. Just maybe add maybe a few in this corner here. Again, just kind of bring some interest there. So that looks really nice. I like that. Okay. So I don't think that anything else there. Let's go to this side. And I think I'm going to add the cute little rain boots with the tulips down here and just cut off this bottom part. And the offset on the side. Again, just so I can put it up against this. Like that. And then maybe we'll add the wheelbarrow to this side over here. And just create a sharp line here so I can bring it all the way down. And thankfully, again, that's on Sunday, so I don't have to worry too much about that going over. Oh, just realized that cut weird. Let me put the rest of that wheelbarrow together. There we go. Glad I noticed that. Okay, so that's really cute. Now maybe something in the middle or up here. And we have these. I don't think I'm gonna use any of these because they're so big. So maybe I'll put some more of these flowers there. This one's kind of big though. I might cut this in half. Let's see what that looks like. If I did something like this. And then I'll put the other half over here. Kind of break up some of the pink. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. Okay, I like that. I really like that. And I like that this one's on top and this one's on the other side. So that looks really pretty. Let's see. Want to do another one? These are so pretty. That's too much. Might cut this one and use it on this side. See what that looks like. And maybe have this one peeking on this side so it's different from that. Just trying to line it up. This edge as best I can. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. Okay, I think that's done. Let's move on to this page. And let's add this one, the little crate that says fresh flowers. I'll cut off all of the offset and then layer it in the bottom left here on top of the washi. That's pretty. And then let's put this other little cart of flowers. Down here. And then maybe kind of do the same thing, add some florals on this side. So let's go back to these ones. And let's see. Then we'll do the same thing, cut it in half. Kind of layer some directly on the washi. And let's go back to this one because it has some darker color. This one has some darker colors. I think would be nice to incorporate. Put that one directly on top. Trim off that tiny little bit that went over. And then add a smaller one to this side. And I think I'm going to cut this in half. And have this one come out slightly there. And maybe this one go directly on the washi here. So that way it's kind of layered. Okay, that looks really pretty. I really like that. Okay, let's do this side. All right. I don't think we can do too much there. I do have those wildflowers. Maybe I can put... Maybe I'll put some there. Let's see. And trim off some of the offsets so I can butt it up just up close. I'm gonna cut that directly straight. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right here against this sticker. And then kind of fold it over into the next page. So it kind of looks like the scene is kind of continuing. That looks kind of cool. And let's see, maybe add some flowers on the side here. Maybe like that. That way it's kind of, it looks like it's growing out of the washi. I think that looks really cool. And then I have this one here that I'll use to kind of frame this side. And these tiny little berries. And let's go back to this one back here. And let's maybe add a leaf here. And then some flowers down here. And maybe something small right there to fill in that gap. Maybe a leaf. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like that. Okay, now maybe I think that side is done. This is done. Maybe add something small here. Like this little can of flowers. Put that down here at the bottom. Okay, I like the way that looks when it's closed and when it's open. Again, just a little bit of interest throughout. And the weekend, I can kind of get away with more. So I added more there. And I can't add too much here, but maybe I'll add a few flowers, again, peeking through, like I did on the other pages. So I think I'll, again, cut this in half. And then maybe get a pink one. That looks good right there. Just trim off this small little bit. And let's see if we can use this some more. That little leaf there. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll put this up here. Okay, that's nice. So I have some flowers there, and then the ones on this side. Let's see, do I want to add any more? Might trim off these berries on this flower. And just add that. Just feel like it needs a little bit more color there. There we go. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so I think that's done. I like that. Now I'm wondering if I should add some florals to this one, since all of these ones have some sort of flowers. Yeah, this is the only one that doesn't. So yeah, let me add a few here. Again, I'm gonna cut it in half. And let's see. Maybe something. I got that down there. Maybe halfway between this one and that one. Let me raise it slightly. It's not going into Sunday. And then maybe put the other part. I add this over here. And maybe put one more over here. It's going into that one though. So maybe I'll do like this one directly on the washi, but coming off of the washi. That way it's not going too far into the other one. And maybe just create a little cluster here with these flowers. Okay, that looks kind of cool. So it has kind of like a little cluster here, that up there. And then when I open it, I have this here and these on this side. Okay, so that looks good. Might Might find a little small flower to go down there if I can. Might have used all of them. Oh, wait, there's some of these. Little rosebud. That one is different from the other ones. Maybe I won't use that one. See, maybe this blue one. Again, just kind of give it some interest. Yeah, kind of break up some of that pink. I think that looks good. Let's see, did it go over? It went over slightly. Okay, so trim that. Again, kind of to break up some of that pink, and yet it still coordinates with this side. And it brings some interest down here. So that looks really good. And I like that. Have this other blue flower. Might add over here. Tuck it underneath this one. Again, just kind of bring a little bit more interest. There we go. I like that. Okay, so I think that's done. I think that looks good. I don't think I need anything else here. Okay, now the last page. All right, now let's figure out what we want to do for this one. This one we can use maybe a couple of large flowers maybe coming out of there. I think that will look really cool. You find some that I like. Let's see, I have these ones and then these yellow ones that I think might work. And then the rest of these. So I might use, I'll start with a yellow one maybe. Let's see. Try to keep most of it on the washi. Again, since I don't have much room to write, I don't want to take over too much of that. And this, I think I'm going to just add some florals to the side here. Let's see. It might be easier to just cut this. Kind of disguise that right there, and I'm adding, whoa, to kind of disguise this kind of awkward area right there. Bring it up slightly, and then maybe layer on a couple of these single flowers, again to kind of fill in that gap. And that fits perfectly right there. Then add this flower in the corner here. Oh, I really like that. Okay, so that's what it looks like closed and then open. So now we have the flowers around that. That looks really cool. I'm really liking that. I don't think I need too much more on this page. I mean, I might add something maybe small, maybe this other, let's see, what do I have? This watering can. I can put that maybe on top of Tuesday, just to kind of fill in that awkward space there. Just so that I can, if it goes over into the tape of the frame, it won't look quite as awkward. Bring it over as far as I can without going into the spine. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Just smooth it down. Okay, that way it gives this some interest without putting too much there. And I just noticed the sticker is over. So trim it. There we go. Okay. All right, I really love that. That looks great. All right, so maybe add a few more flowers here, and then I think we might be done. like that. Oh, I really love that. That looks great. Okay, let's see. I don't think I need anything else here. I mean, I could use maybe something down here small, but let's see if I have anything. Or maybe I'll put this little wild grass there with the wildflowers. Cut off the edge. And let's see. Put one on this side. And then bring it across maybe in the middle. Again, just to kind of give some interest there. And kind of join them right here. Okay, now that I've joined them, I'm going to smooth this down and get my craft spatula and then push it down and in and then smooth it over. Okay, so we just have the flowers there, and then I have this other one with rocks. Again, just to add some interest down there. And maybe I'll add that to this side here. All right, let's take a look. All right. So again, that gives that just a little bit more interest. And again, I can write around this for Tuesday. Maybe I should pull that up. It might be too much. Looking at the room I have left for Tuesday. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pull that up. That way I can kind of write around this. Otherwise, I don't think I'll have enough room to write. Okay, so I better leave that alone. Okay, so I think that looks good. And yeah, that's the last page. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. And I think this is finally dry. So now I'm going to remove any residual tackiness from the glue that I used to seal the edges of this. Okay, it doesn't feel tacky anymore, so that's good. So I don't think we're gonna need any more flowers from this, but I really love this sketchbook garden book. I use quite a bit, so I use this page, and I can just take that out. And quite a bit of these other ones, but it still has tons here. Again, I encourage you to look at the flip through that I have on my channel. And again, I'll try to remember to post that. Okay, and I still have some other stickers left. Maybe I can use for something else, card or in my planner. We'll see. But let's take a look at our May creative journal. All right, so that's the cover page. And that's what it looks like completely flat. And that's the other side of the frame and the inset. So this is the part that you see inside when it's flat. And then when you open it, it looks like the flowers are being blown. I really love that effect. And then this one, flowers on either side of the washi here. And then just a few decorative elements on the page. And then as you turn it, it goes to this one with the rain boots and the flowers. And then these with the flowers directly on the washi. And then as you can see, the flowers are starting to cascade on the left-hand side here, which is really cool. And even the flowers from the frame, I'm glad I added that because now it looks like it's, again, cascading flowers. And here we have the last frame. So more flowers again on the side to kind of tie it together. And then the flowers here, I really love this side. It looks like the washi went all the way down, even though it actually didn't. And I used the flowers here to kind of disguise that harsh line there to make it a little bit softer. And here's the doorway, which kind of makes sense because this is the last page. And then the flowers here around this frame, which I really love. And then the actual insert of the frame there. And then the flowers on this side. So that's what it's looking like. And that's my May creative journal. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. We had some interesting moments with the arches. Hopefully I gave you some interesting ideas of things that you can do in your journal, and different methods and techniques that you can use. I really love the way that this came out, and I'm really pleased with everything, even though we had some bumps in the road, but that's just part of the creative process. So don't be afraid to problem solve when you're trying to do something creative. Again, that's just kind of part of the process. At least it is for me. Things rarely go perfectly planned. I try to have a plan, but things rarely go exactly to plan. So it's good to kind of know how to pivot when you need to. All right, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay inspired, and thank you for watching.